Hey guys, Pastor Rafa right here. I am with my friend Josh. And Josh, your last name is Lodenslugger, right?
Yeah, Lodenslugger.
Yes, good. All right. So I won't ask you to say mine because things might go crazy. Actually, you're good at saying my last name. You want to try it out?
No.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Anyway, so God is doing amazing things through my brother here. He's going to be planting a church in Dushore. So first of all, Josh, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm originally from downstate. I'm north of Philly by about an hour in the greater Lehigh Valley area.
Yeah.
We moved up to Sullivan County about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Moved up with the intentions of kind of getting away.
Yeah.
Living simply. We were actually helping run like a farm stay, and I had no intentions of pastoring, just kind of doing my own thing, and we started going to a church, and from there we got involved, and they had asked me to be an elder, so I became an elder, and then the pastor was retiring, and so I started praying about it, went to my wife and went to my friends and said, hey, I'm thinking that the Lord's calling me to this. And and they all affirmed that calling. And so that was about 3.5 years ago, became the pastor there. And since then, the church has been growing. But my wife and I and some of the other people have had a heart for kind of we're in a part of Sullivan County. Sullivan County, small as it is, but this is a very small area.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of had a heart for moving into more of the main area of Sullivan County, which would be the Dushore area, and looking at planting a church there. And so that's what we're moving on now. There's me and a couple other families are planting a church right in Dushore.
Yeah.
And we're looking at how we can serve the Lord in that area and the surrounding areas from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys are planting a church, and so this is coming up like in June, right?
Yeah.
We're getting ready. So and I'm going to ask you as well, like, hey, how can we serve you as a church? Like, obviously prayer and all that stuff. But like, what are your guys' hopes? Like, man, like I know that God has planted a dream inside within you. You came empty hands of faith, and you were willing to be used by God. And by the way, just to let you know, you're amongst like a lot of people like in Christian history that like, whether it's Saint Augustine, whether it's like Athanasius, whether they showed up and literally they were picked from the crowd and they were like, you're gonna be our pastor. and so that excites me. Like, what are some of your hopes as you move forward? Just like in terms of like, your hopes, your biblical ambition, hopes to see. What do you want to see God do in Dushore?
Yeah. So for us, it's we've kind of have this desire to see a healthy multi-generational church in that area. And so then in our area, and I mean the surrounding area in general, there's a lot of churches, but a lot of them are slowly dying off. And so what we want to do is we want to see a church where we have both the young and the old. Where we have good biblical doctrine being preached.
That's good.
But we also want to be a place where there's a safe refuge for people. Right? And we want to be able to help people and walk with people. I mean, our big goal is really to be part of the community, to really be not just a church that people come on Sunday mornings and they check the box and they go home, but where we are actually doing life together, and where the church is bigger than just Sunday mornings, and where we're actually getting involved with each other. I mean, the model is Acts 2, right? Acts 2, that section at the end in the verses, the 40 verses, like where we're living in such a way that we find favor with those around us, and they want to see what it is that makes us different. And so our desire is to see people come to Christ, to grow in a knowledge of Him, and then really to build the family of Christ as this strong family.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're looking to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, and this is something that's like known everywhere, and we're part of a church planting network. church planting is one of it's literally like God's primary strategy of really just like getting his work of renewal, gospel renewal into an area. So I'm excited for you guys as you guys are going in there. It's not so much of like, hey, you know, God has already been doing work in there, but there's just something about like bringing a fresh work there that gives access to people that are so far away from Christ to draw near, like to, you know, like, so I'm excited for that. And so as a church, man, like, what are some of the ways that like we can support you and just come alongside you? Because for us, we're excited. We always say that we are a church that plants other churches, but planting other churches sometimes is like is also kind of means like coming alongside and just supporting. So we want to just be able to be of support. What are some of the ways we can be able to support you?
Yeah, I think the biggest way, and it's always like the cliche answer, right? But the biggest way is prayer.
Yeah, definitely.
We need lots of prayer for wisdom. So far, it's been really neat to see how the Lord has provided. You know, we don't have our own building, but He provided a place for us right in Dushore.
Yeah.
You know, He keeps answering these. So prayer is a big one. Praying for that the Lord would bring the people He wants to bring. That we would be open to loving people well, right? That we would be open to the leading of the Spirit as we do all this. That's a big one. You guys have been helpful. So the church might not know, but you have been helping us, speaking into us. You've been, you know, helping us with different things, literature, and so that's a big help. You know, supporting us, you know, when we call on you, is a big one. But for example, too, like, you know, I've already asked like Trevor to come and help us preach, you know, so that we have that kind of, and just that actually like showing up when we need it is a big part. And you guys have been doing that. And so I don't think people realize that sometimes just showing up or you've answered the phone when I needed it, you know, those are big things to help us push through. So, and then I think it's a healthy thing to visit. You know, we were at your church, a group of us 2 weeks ago. And I think visiting each other and letting each other see that, that we're in this together, that we're not different churches doing our own thing, but that we're all the body of God. And, you know, so, you know, send some of your people down into the middle of nowhere and come visit us sometimes. You know, that's a healthy thing. It reminds people that the church is bigger than just our own buildings.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, that's good. And I want to just encourage us, even as a church, like one of the things, at least I want to say, please don't look down on prayer as something that's very important. And not only that, like, just pray for Josh and his family, and just this group of people that are really wanting to, they're coming into this city, this town. You know, they're coming and God wants to shine His light there. And so for me, like, that's so important. And at the same time, like, I just know in the world of church planting, you don't start in a fight with the enemy and he doesn't push back. But yet at the same time, Jesus is the one who sent them there. So let's really surround and pray for them as a family, pray for resources. And then not only that, just like, I want to just probably another way of supporting as well is like, we as City Church want to just come probably and say, whatever you need, please let us know. But also, if you know people, because we're so connected, like, to people. If you know some people that are in those surrounding areas that are far away from God. Yesterday, I was kind of meditating on this whole idea, like, that Christ is the one who comes and dies for His enemies, Romans 5, and then, but yet He lays down for His life for His friends. But like, He draws those that are far away and those that are near. There's some people that stopped even going to church because of COVID and stuff like that. But yet, His marvelous work is that, like Ephesians 2, He's tearing down the walls of hostility and bringing people together, and He's building the church. And so that's what we want to see in Dushore. So please be praying, and not only that, inviting people and just say, hey, this is what God is also doing there. So, what's going to be the name of the church?
Endless Grace Community Church.
Endless Grace. Man, that is awesome. Endless Grace.
Endless Grace.
And may the people that are there, some of them that are still far away from God, we always think about this, like where I'm like, the people that probably will even just, some of those people that like need to come to that church that you're saying like that he will draw. Some of them probably have needles on their arms right now. And they need to be drawn towards God. And so we need to really pray. We need to, work towards all that. So, but thank you so much, Josh, for coming and joining us here. And
thank you.
I can't wait for our people to even get to I know some of them got to meet you when you came to visit, but I can't wait for them for us to hear more and more about what God is doing there as well. So God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. We'll keep you updated on what's happening with Endless Grace Church. Man, that's awesome.